Okay, we have a bad headlight socket in here. Get to the headlight, which is down in there. We're going to take off this screw and this screw, and this will just pull up out of the way, and then I could reach in and grab the light in there. Okay, this you need to pull up out of here to get that out, and then you pull off this rubber cover, and then you can reach in through here into there and take the light bulb off. Now I have to replace this socket. It's all melted. Okay, so I didn't record doing that, replacing it, because there was really no need to, plus it was raining. But basically what I did is I took, not that it matters, I cut it with clippers, see, the sharp part of the clippers, and I cut the wire, and then I went in and I took Mr. Torch, torched it till it was on fire, and then I went in, where is it, where are we? Grabbed the wire and pulled. Oh my god, now you can see all my screw garage. Oh, I waited too long. I don't know. You got to see all the messed up garage. Right. Got it nice and hot. I'll catch up on it over there. And then, while it was still hot, pulled like that. I mean, I don't know why I'm showing you people that. Then I got out the solder like this, and I mean the flux dunked, twisted it, twisted. Actually, I think I'm just filming this to get it over 3 minutes, because apparently, according to Scotty Kilmer, you need 3 minutes of video to get any credit. Put it in there, dunk it in there, and then, yeah, this video is really made so that I can keep farting. Focus on there. Focus on the wire, man. And since I was doing this outside in the rain, I got out my butane thing. Turns on the fire. You lift this up, light it with the torch. It gets red hot up in here. This gets red hot, and then I applied solder. Anyway, you want to see the solder? I applied solder. I applied solder to it by using this hot little butane puppy, and I did that to both sides, the one I put on and the wire, and then I took this heat shrink tubing and I cut a piece off and put it down the wire and waited, and then I soldered both wires together, you know, solder the wires together, and then I pulled the heat shrink up, onto it, and then I got out Mr. Torchy. Yeah, torch, until it all nice and shrunk. Yeah, nice and shrunk. And then I got out my electrical tape, and I did the diagonal. I did the slightly on the angle wrap up the wire, and then wrapped around on one end, ripped it, went down the other end, wrapped that around one end, and done. Yes. I really should have put the torch at those parts. I put this cover on, and then I plugged the light bulb into the new socket, which clipped in. This one's all melted. What happened is the previous owner, they were a bit of a dumbass. Those rubber covers that cover the back of the headlight, there's one for the high beam and one for the low beam. 2 of those covers are missing. So since that one was harder to reach, I don't know why, the dumbass just left them open. So I moved the rubber one over to that hard area, and then the one that's really close, I duct taped it, didn't close it. But what happened, because the dumbass left those rubber things off, moisture, everything got into those light bulbs, you know, snow, moisture, got into those light bulbs, and it blew out this light. This light blew out, shorted, and you see what happened. It melted it. So the previous owner constantly thought this light was going bad, so they were buying new light bulbs, plugging it in, which worked. They worked for a while. Then this would heat up, and it would have no contact again. So you'd have to open it up, and you would just take a light bulb, unplug it, plug it back in, and it would work again. It wasn't blown. It was just that this socket keeps melting because of the way it is. It's low resistance. From the first melting, you see this is way up here. The other one is way down there. I could clean it and probably fix it, but I got a replacement socket for $5. But because it's like this, there's high resistance. It's not a good connector. High resistance means heat. Heat means melty, bro. So those bulbs, every time you would unplug it, plug it back in, it would last for like a week or two. And then the resistance would finally get up and heat it and melt it and pull it away from the connector. Again, the bulbs were not bad. It was just that this thing was just getting too hot and then making the wire disconnect. So if you got to unplug it, plug it back in, and then you're good again. So this is like the third time, well, second time I had to screw with that light bulb. So finally I was like, all right. As you see, this is all dirty in here. They also, because they had a bulb in here, but it was just hanging off. It wasn't clipped in. It was shorted out at the front. It was just ridiculous. So this thing wasn't sealing. You see, it's all dirty in there. You try to plug a bulb in here, and it would barely clip. And whatever. So $5, I bought a new one, put it in there, and we're good again. And that's it. Hello, phone. Hold on, I got one more finale. Oh, I forgot to torch that button. Forgot to torch that. All right. So anyway, yep, that's the Lincoln MKZ. No point to film that, but I showed you. Let me see what I did. It looks like they replaced this once, but I would have to take the whole headlight out to resolder where they did it. But it looked like it was good. They weren't corroded or whatever. But because they didn't cover the holes, these things are wide open to the elements, which isn't normal. Normal bulbs that aren't open like that, they have like a cover or something. I mean, with this is rubber sealed, but coming up around to the bulb isn't sealed, because that's why you're supposed to have that rubber thing. That's the way that bulb was meant. Those covers are there for a reason. They're there for a reason. You can't let moisture in there. You have to replace them. So like I said, I duct taped the other one that was closer, the high beam one, which you could reach down and get to. I duct taped that shut. Alrighty then. Hey, Scotty Kilmer doubled it, 7 minutes.